J-Roll Electronic Productions, baby.
Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. We're back. After getting a strike and not being able to post for a week on YouTube, they gave me a strike for a video that was done years ago on a gate from the Pizza Persuasion. If y'all know what I'm talking about. Can't talk about that stuff on YouTube. So they gave me a strike. Like I said, this video was done years ago. They could have just asked me to take it down, but I was banned from posting anything for a week. So that's why you haven't heard from me. But we're back now. So let's get into these headlines. Alright. Let's start here on the right side like we normally do. The Gateway Pundit. Vaccinated Israeli student catches COVID from vaccinated relative and then infects 83 high school students. So let's see what this is about. Hopefully YouTube won't ban me from this because this actually happened. This is news. This is facts. This is what happened. So it is what it is. I'm not going to stop speaking my truth from being afraid of being banned. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Vaccinated Israeli student catches COVID from vaccinated relative and then infects 83 high school students. Let's see. A vaccinated Israeli student infected 83 classmates after catching COVID-19 from a jabbed relative. Israeli is seeing another wave of COVID infections despite its high number of vaccinations. I can't remember what the number is. I want to say like 80% of Israelis has had the jab, but still getting COVID. Let's see. German Morgan Post reported, and they translated it, a corona outbreak among school children after a party in Tel Aviv worries the health authorities in Israel. As the TV broadcaster Channel 12 reports, at least 83 young people caught the virus at the celebration, all of them with the same classmate. The main worrying thing about the case is the chain of infections that led to the outbreak. According to the Times of Israel, the young man who distributed the virus at the party was vaccinated. He in turn had become infected from a relative who had also been vaccinated, and that relative had become infected from a person who also was vaccinated and who was recently in London. It's unclear which variant of the coronavirus it is. So, like we've been saying from the get-go, just because you get jabbed don't mean that you're not going to get it. So, what is the point of getting jabbed? That's my question to everyone. What is the point if you're still going to get it? But, that's something for you to talk to your doctor about. Not giving any advice or anything like that. Here we go. Scientists claim Lambda variant may be resistant to COVID-19 vaccines. More fear-mongering. Let's see. Scientists are now claiming that the Lambda variant may be resistant to COVID-19 vaccines. The Lambda variant, which reportedly originated in Peru last summer, is all of a sudden a concern to scientists who say mutations could be resistant to COVID vaccines. Fox News reported the World Health Organization said the variant's mutations could increase its transmissibility or possibly increase its resistance to neutralizing antibodies. The health body called Lambda or 37, a variant of interest. So far, we have seen no indication that the Lambda variant is more aggressive. Wario Mendez Rico, a World Health Organization virologist, told, "Why are we still going to the WHO for information after the lies and stuff they put out? Why are we still going to these people?" But he said, it is possible that it may exhibit higher infection rates, but we don't yet have enough reliable data to compare it to Gamma or Delta. He told the German outlet that as SARS-CoV-2 evolves, it may start to become more transmissible, but not as deadly. Jeff Barrett, director of COVID-19 Genomics Initiative at the Wellcome Sanger Institute in the UK, told the Financial Times that a reason it is challenging to make sense of the threat from Lambda using computational and lab data is that it has rather an unusual set of mutations compared with other variants. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is using the Delta variant to scare Americans into getting vaccinated. Biden on Tuesday said he will send goons door to door to harass unvaccinated Americans. These tyrants are never going to let go of their newfound power. That's the thing. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. They want more power, and they're becoming more and more corrupt. I want someone to knock on my door asking me questions and see what they get. Please come to my door. Alright, let's see. What other madness we got going on? I'm sorry, my computer seems to be moving rather slow. Alright. Illegal alien released from jail on bail in New Mexico. Beheads man, plays soccer with his head. Wow. Why are they letting these illegals out of jail? They broke the law. If it was my black ass, I would still be in jail right now. But it's a different set of laws for them. Biden again has to refer to his notes when asked about the latest ransomware attack on hundreds of U.S. companies. I mean, we know, I talk about it time and time again, the man has dementia. The man has dementia. Joe Biden on Tuesday answered a few questions from reporters after delivering remarks on COVID vaccination. A reporter asked Joe Biden about the latest ransomware attack on hundreds of U.S. companies. Hackers are now demanding $70 million in Bitcoin to unfreeze computers in their latest ransomware attack on hundreds of U.S. companies. A ransomware attack paralyzed networks of more than 200 U.S. companies on Friday. Hackers targeted software supplier Kaseya and penetrated cloud service providers by going through its network management system. The media is blaming the Russians for the Kaseya hack. I mean, how do they know it's Russia? It's so many ways to disguise and hide and change IP addresses and all this other stuff to make it look like one country or another. How can they definitively say that it's Russia? They blame Russia for everything. You'll never hear them blame the Chinese, though. I wonder why that is. Well, we know why that is. They'll never blame the Chinese because the Chinese government is the ones that own our government, and they're afraid to even bring up the Chinese name. They're afraid to bring them up. CCP runs our government. Clueless Biden had to refer to his notes again to answer the question. Biden said of the $70 million ransomware attack, quote, "It appears to have caused minimum damage to U.S. businesses." That's what he said? That's what he came back with? Hold on, let's play it.
The latest ransomware attack, can you tell us if you believe that rises to the level of U.S. retaliation?
I can tell you a couple things. I received an update from our national security team this morning. It appears to have caused minimal damage to U.S. businesses, but we're still gathering information to the full extent of the attack, and I'm going to have more to say about this in the next several days. We're getting more detail and information, but that's what I can tell you now, and I feel good about our ability to deal and respond. Thank you.
The latest ransomware
So
attack, can you tell us if you believe that
That's our president. That's our president. He's making it seem like he's playing it down, like it's no big deal that 200 companies got hacked. It's no big deal. What garbage? U.S. soccer and cis women Olympic soccer team was not disrespecting flag or World War II vet playing national anthem despite the video. Ballot Integrity Project aims to provide Arizona voters a full spectrum of transparency in elections. Biden, he said, we need to go door to door, literally knocking on doors to get people vaccinated. I can't believe they're coming with Gestapo tactics. Gestapo tactics. Joe Biden on Tuesday delivered remarks on COVID vaccination. Earlier Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the Biden administration will be sending goons door to door to harass unvaccinated Americans. Biden confirmed that during his remarks and said his admin will focus on communities where vaccination rates are low. Quote, we need to go community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, and oftentimes door to door, literally knocking on doors, Biden said. According to the most recent update of data, 157 million, or 47.9% of Americans are fully vaccinated for COVID-19, well below the Biden admin's goal of 70%. All right, so let's see what he says.
A special focus on 5 ways to make gains in getting those of you who are unvaccinated vaccinated. Because here's the deal. We are continuing to wind down the mass vaccination sites that did so much in the spring to rapidly vaccinate those eager to get their first shot and their second shot, for that matter, if they needed a second. Now we need to go to community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, and oftentimes door to door, literally knocking on doors to get help to the remaining people protected
Please
from
knock
the
on my
virus.
door.
A special focus on 5 ways to make gains in.
So he's sending his henchmen out to knock on your door to see if you got the jab. That's the country we live in now. All right, let's check out Zero Hedge. A great listener and collaborator, Stalinist professor under fire for praising genocidal Soviet leader. Yeah, Stalin killed more than Hitler. And you got professors in college teaching that this guy, that he was a good guy. This is the new America. The central bank's new mandate: social justice, race, gender issues, climate change, and inequity. I'm not going to click on that because that's just going to get me amped up, and I'm not trying to be amped up tonight. All right, let's see. ByteDance abandons plans for New York listening despite lower valuation. Is Soho House the new WeWork? I don't know much about Soho House. I have to look into that. But WeWork, which I thought was promising, because it's basically it's making offices affordable for anyone. You can share an office, use an office space. I don't want to call it Airbnb, but it's kind of Airbnb-ish, but for the office, more longer term. It sounded like a great idea, but it's been mismanaged. So that's what they're talking about, comparing it to WeWork. But I don't know much about Soho House. I'm gonna have to look into them. Let's see. January 6th, detainees confined 23 hours a day, attorney says. Wow. But Antifa is out walking the streets, still smashing windows and causing havoc. I don't get it. Two-tier justice. Russia detains Estanoan consul caught red-handed receiving classified info, FSB says. Georgia on my mind. Biden admin doubles down on new challenge despite losing Arizona racist voting case. Excessive heat continues to plague western states with no end in sight. And like I said, Almanac said it's going to be one of the driest summers on record. Out in the Midwest, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be droughts. It's only the beginning. Let's see. Just the news. Nation's largest teacher union appears to scrub pro-critical race theory statements from its website because people are actually looking into it now. They can't say that they're not teaching it, so they're trying to get rid of it from things like websites and stuff like that to try to hide it. Gas prices expected to increase by up to 20 cents over the summer. Whew! I ain't gonna be able to drive to work. Let's see. Pinterest banned weight loss ads and measure to increase body acceptance among users. What's wrong with losing weight? Why you can't have weight loss ads? I mean, these woke people are taking it too far. Let's see. Parents fight critical race theory as teachers union commit over $127,000 to advance it. Canada loosens COVID-19 pandemic travel restrictions. Software company says hundreds of customers hit in recent ransomware attack. Experts think more. District of Columbia police report over 700 riot-related arrests in a year following Floyd murder. None of them people are locked up, but the January 6 people are locked up. Who basically all they really did was trespass for real. Let's see. Daily Mail, 20,000 Tajikistan troops are ordered to the border to stop Afghan soldiers fleeing the Taliban. RNC denies being breached by Kremlin-backed hackers. Euro 2020, Italy beat Spain. Let's see. Matt Gaetz wingman Joel Greenberg asks for sentencing delay while he cooperates. Media and tech moguls appear on day one for exclusive Sun Valley billionaire summer camp. Mexico assassins open fire on police pickup truck. Moon cop who was responding to emergency. Pollen and mold season lasts 8 to 9 weeks longer than 20 years ago. Climate change to blame. Climate change, they blame they say everything is to blame pertaining to climate change. Climate change causes everything. This is more madness. Well, let's see. Sha'Carri Richardson not going to Tokyo Olympics after being left off relay team. I mean, if you are training for the Olympics and you've been training most of your life, why would you pick up a joint and smoke it? I mean, I understand her mom died. She could have seen a therapist. She could have saw a psychiatrist to get some meds. There's a number of things she could have done instead of smoking. And she decided to smoke, so I have no empathy for her. I mean, life is about choices, and she chose to smoke while she was getting ready for the Olympics, so it's on her. I'm sorry. Let's see. Teachers Union head denies elementary school push CRT, vows to defend anyone teaching honest history. Flight canceled after 30 teens refused to wear a mask. Tuesday Evening Dispatch, oil prices continue to climb and Americans are feeling it at the pump. I mean, everything I've been saying is coming to fruition. I said Biden's going to get in. The economy is going to get even worse. It's going to be destroyed. Inflation. Everything I've been saying is happening. So if y'all listening to DEMOCREPUBLIX, y'all know the news before it happened because I do a deep dive into all of this stuff. A lot of the stuff I've been saying for years, especially pertaining to woke culture, is happening. They're starting to eat their own. You see it happening with the whole Rachel Nichols thing. All you have to do is just read because they tell you what they're gonna do before they do it to you. Let's see. NIH spent $140 million on animal testing in foreign countries last year. Watchdog Group finds Analysis: not only are Democrats defunding the police, they're trying to defund the border security. I mean, I think it's funny how they're trying to say that Republicans are the ones that's defunding the police when they're the ones that's actually been defunding the police. It's crazy, and the thing that's really crazy to me is people actually believe in this stuff instead of going back and looking at what they actually been saying for a few years now. Let's see. Analysis: not only are Democrats defunding the police, they're trying to defund. What is going on here? They're trying to get me to subscribe. Let's do this. Let's do it like this. It won't let me read it, so let's go to my handy dandy. Let's see if I can read it like this. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, I can't read that article. They want me to subscribe, unfortunately. So let's check out something else. All right. That was the Daily Caller. Let's check out The Hill. And The Hill, actually, I really like The Hill because you get both sides. You have some leftist views, you have some right views, you have some views that's in the middle. So The Hill, I really like The Hill. Let's see. Mass white supremacists marching on Philadelphia City Hall retreated when confronted by onlookers. Risk rise as vaccination gap with Trump counties grows wider. The Delta variant is spiking in these 4 U.S. states. Let's see what kind of fear mongering they got going on right now.
According to data from Scripps Research.
Let's see. Where are the states? The Delta variant is spreading across the United States and is now responsible for 80% of new coronaviruses. The Delta variant of the coronavirus is surging in Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Connecticut. 3 of the 4 states have a lower vaccination rate than the national average. As the Delta variant spreads across the United States, it is now responsible for 80% of the new coronaviruses. According to the data, Script Research Outbreak.info, the Delta variant of the coronavirus is surging in Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Connecticut, where it's responsible for a majority of new cases. 96% of Missouri's new COVID-19 cases have been traced to the Delta variant, the highest percentage of new cases caused by the strain for the U.S. So this is just more fear mongering. They want to put us back in lockdown, and I think it's gonna happen. I don't know when. Possibly at the end of the summer. I can see it happening again. Right during the fall. Risks rise as vaccination gap with Trump counties grows wider. Trump discussed pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. See, where do you get this from? You know, people just make up stories. I need to hear him actually say something like that. I don't trust anything that the media says about anything pertaining to Trump because we know that they make stories up pertaining to him. White House signals new COVID-19 strategy as Delta variant spreads. Mary Trump, Ivanka much less likely to stay loyal to father than Weisselberg. Exclusive Democrat Garcia will not back reconciliation without immigration. Alright, let's see what else we got going on here. Washington Examiner. James Lankford election truther challenger gets unheard of boost from GOP officials. Yeah, I told you guys about the rank and file rhinos in government. I feel good. Biden sends message to Putin about U.S. ability to retaliate for ransomware. Psaki says Howard students are quite lucky to have Nicole Hannah Jones as a professor. Capitol riots, unanswered questions 6 months on. DC executive making. Voters blame Biden and Democrats not filibuster for gridlock. Democrats plan to zero out wall funding and reduce border patrol money amid historic surge. But wait a minute, I thought they were saying Republicans want to defund the police. Let's see. Squad members says 4th of July is about freedom for white people. I mean, these people are crazy. Daily Wire. Internet erupts after Biden Psaki push door-to-door plan targeting unvaccinated people. Yeah, I mean, that's literally the Gestapo. Coming to people door-to-door and checking their vaccine status. We got into this earlier, but let's check out this article. Let's see their take on it. Internet erupts after Biden Psaki pushed door-to-door plan targeting unvaccinated people. On Tuesday, President Biden and White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki both spoke of a door-to-door approach to convince Americans to get vaccinated in response to COVID-19, prompting an outburst of harsh criticism from social media. Biden stated at his update on COVID-19 response and vaccination effort, quote, "In today's briefing, we discuss how our administration is going to devote the remainder of the summer to a special focus on 5 ways to make gains and getting those of you who are unvaccinated vaccinated. Because here's the deal. We are continuing to wind down the mass vaccination sites that did so much in the spring to rapidly vaccinate those eager to get their first shots and their second shots. For that matter, if they needed a second. Now we need to go to the community by community, neighborhoods by neighborhoods, and oftentimes door to door, literally knocking on doors. You know, we talked about that. At the press briefing, Psaki said, by the end of the week, the United States will be nearing 160 million people fully vaccinated, which the president will touch on today. Let's see. Psaki continued, the president will outline 5 areas his team is focused on to get more Americans vaccinated. 1, a target community by community, door-to-door outreach to get remaining Americans vaccinated by ensuring they have the information they need on how both safe and accessible the vaccine is. But how do you know? You have to check with your individual doctor and see if it's right for you. They're pushing this so much, but a lot of people have allergies and other stuff where they can't take the vaccine, or they already had the virus and their doctor told them don't take the vaccine, but they still trying to push this on people. Let's see. Dan Crenshaw, I like Dan Crenshaw. He said, "How about don't knock on my door? You're not my parents. You're the government. Make the vaccine available and let people be free to choose. Why is that concept so hard for the left?" And I agree. Country star John Rich had a different plan. FYI, to any of Biden's missionaries who feel moved to knock on my door to push me to get the jab, I'll kindly invite you in, tell you about Jesus, and make you listen to Ronald Reagan's speeches until dinner. If you're still here, we'll have a slow, full reading of the Constitution. I like that, Rich. I like that. Actor James Woods said, will you be wearing armbands? Yeah. Like I said, the Gestapo. Let's see. Radio host Steve D said, why do we need a vaccine passport system if they're able to go door to door to the unvaccinated? Doesn't that mean they already know? Oh, and come to my door, and I've got 2 words for you: Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's see. The Libertarian Party of Kentucky said, insert reference to historical event where something like this previously happened. That's funny. That's funny because now you can't even mention history. You can't even mention what Hitler did. You can't even mention how he went door to door, because if you even mention what happened in history, you considered a anti-Semite. So that's why the Libertarian Party said insert reference here. That's pretty clever. Washington Free Beacon executive editor Brent Shire said, "Yep, door-to-door government agents definitely will calm the nerves of vaccine skeptics." I mean, what do they think they're doing? What do they think? How do they think people is going to react to that when you telling them you're going to come door to door and ask them about their status and ask them why they haven't taken the vaccine? And the question is, how do they know also? How do they know who haven't taken it? They didn't say they're going to knock on people's door and ask if they took it. They said they're going to knock on people's door and ask why they did not take it. So how do they know who took it and who didn't? Former acting Deputy Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Ken Cuccinelli, said, wait a minute. The federal government is keeping track of who is vaccinated and who is not. See, that's what I just said. That's what I was just saying. It makes no sense. How do they know? Or will be via asking door to door. I thought this was happening through healthcare facilities, that keep medical histories private. Very high creepy rating. True. I mean, this is just nuts. That they're literally gonna be going door to door asking people why they haven't been taking the vaccine. That's your government. That's Biden's government. The hits just keep on coming. Let's see. What was that? Was that the Daily Wire? What was that? I think that was the Daily Wire. Sometimes in life, God tells you to be still. Former Navy cornerback allowed to delay commission attend Buccaneers training camp. Social media erupts after Linda Sarsour pushes anti-Semitic conspiracy in Surfside collapse. Actress Rosanna Arquette calls for an end to Independence Day fireworks. Okay, that was from yesterday. Let's see. Check out the Federalist. How to raise kids who won't be swayed by decadent culture. That's tough. A black man grabbed a black woman and leftists are calling it white supremacy. Virginia Democrat McAuliffe lies, claims it's easier to buy a gun than vote. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? They just make stuff up. More stuff, they just make stuff up because it sounds good. Knowing no one's really going to fact check them. If you got a D next to your name, you don't get fact checked. The elite media lingering blind spot on divorces, class, and family. California stores closing early as unpunished theft explodes. Yeah, in California, basically, people can walk in the store with trash bags, fill it up with whatever they want, just walk out the store, and nothing's gonna happen. You literally can steal and don't have to worry about anything. Let's see. California stores closing early as unpunished theft explodes. Amid an ongoing nationwide crime surge, Target and Walgreens locations in various California cities are struggling to combat the rise of retail theft. Their latest approach is just to shorten the amount of time they keep their doors open. So what? That's not gonna stop people from going in and taking stuff. If they have no fear of being prosecuted, people gonna take advantage. People gonna keep walking in the store and walking out with whatever they want. I mean, because nothing's gonna happen. I don't know how California's even surviving with all the crazy laws and stuff they got going on right now. Homelessness, taxes and stuff is high. Cost of living is high. I don't know how people are surviving out there. But Los Angeles has the worst rates of retail theft in the country, according to California Retailers Association, with San Francisco coming in fifth. Sacramento also experienced severe rates of organized retail theft, placing it within the top 10 worst cities. Now, Target stores in San Francisco are shortening their hours, opening at 9 a.m. and closing at 6 p.m. instead of opening at 7 or 8 a.m. Instead, open until 10 p.m. as other locations typically do. That's not a solution. How about just closing the store, packing up, and just getting rid of Target altogether in California? If they're not going to police and keep people safe, then why are they even there? One Target spokesman told KPIX5 that the increase in theft informed the store's decision to shorten its hours, saying, quote, "For more than a month, we've been experiencing a significant and alarming rise in theft and security incidents at our San Francisco stores, similar to reports from other retailers in the area. Meanwhile, Walgreens has reportedly closed multiple stores in response to the surge in retail theft. Quote, "This has been a problem going on for years." CEO and president of California Retailers Association, Rachel Michelin, said in a statement, quote, "We have been diligently trying to find solutions to this, including pending legislation to continue funding for the Organized Retail Task Force. We are trying to attack it from all different ways. Our priority is safety of our employees and consumers. We can't have our security guards going after this. They are now law enforcement." That's because law enforcement aren't able to do their jobs because the prosecutors aren't prosecuting. So what are the police going to go chasing someone down if they're just going to be released anyway? And I blame the people that they voted for. I blame the DAs. I blame the judges. I blame the politicians that they all put in there. Mamraka 021 said MAGA or Me Too. I don't know what you mean by that, MAGA or Me Too. I don't know what you mean by that. Let's see. Michelin also noted that the organized nature of many of these crimes, saying, quote, "ORC Ring are recruiting juveniles, homeless to steal items and turn around into bigger crimes like human trafficking. That is what we are trying to stop. It's a growing problem in our stores, online marketplaces, and communities, and we elect officials and law enforcement to help the retail fight." Trump or Biden, Camilla? Well, you asking me that? I'm definitely not for Biden. Biden don't even know what he is half the time. Biden has dementia. Biden is owned by China. So why would I pull for Biden? And Carmella, all you have to do is look at her on her policies in California. She locked up all them innocent black people and kept them locked up, even though they had evidence to release these people. I mean, these people, they're horrible. Biden is simply sleeping. Yeah. When will he wake up? You will see. Yeah, common formula. You cannot pay me enough to live in California. I don't think it's any dollar amount you can give me where I will pick up and move and live in California. Their policies is horrible, and I don't have any empathy for these people because they keep voting for the same people and expecting different outcome. Isn't that Einstein's definition of insanity? Expecting a different outcome, but you keep voting for the same hacks, the same communists, the same Marxists, the same Democrats, and expecting a different outcome. They have ruined a beautiful, beautiful state. California is a beautiful, beautiful state, and they ruined it by the people they put in power. And I think Gavin Newsom is going to win again with the recall thing because he made the rules. Ma'am said, I'm European. I can still sniff how California stinks. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's really bad. Like I said, you couldn't pay me enough to live in California. Let's see. What other news we got going on? Yeah, Biden using cards again. He not knowing where he is most of the time. Let's see. Breitbart. Let's check out Breitbart. Oklahoma officer rescues sleeping man from car fire. That's good news. Alleged looters flee San Francisco Neiman Marcus. Virginia County School Board to limit public comment amid growing opposition to critical race theory. So that's what they do. When they have something and the people are standing up against it, they censor. That's all they can do. Because when you hit these people with facts and information and statistics and truth and real evidence, they can't argue against it. So what they do is they censor you from saying and speaking the truth and facts. They try to go off of emotion. So let's see what this article is about. Virginia County School Board to limit public comment amid growing opposition to critical race theory. The Board of Albemarle County Public Schools, ACPS Board, in Virginia decided July 1st to limit public comment at their upcoming July 8th and August 12th meeting as growing opposition to teaching a radical critical race theory curriculum has permeated among parents, and the number of requests from people wishing to address the board during a meeting has exceeded 2 and 3 times the number typically observed at ACPS board. So how about cutting some of the time and extending the meeting instead of just cutting people off altogether from using their First Amendment rights? How about that, school board? According to an ACPS board press release, a lottery system will be instituted to choose those persons allowed to address the board. If more than 40 people sign up to speak during public comment at the July 8th meeting, John Zug, Albemarle County Circuit Court Clerk, will identify speakers using a random selection system similar to the one he uses to select juries. The release detail. Oh man, it's crazy. The press release also noted that under the circumstances, the time allotted to each speaker has had to be reduced from 3 minutes to 2 minutes, and if indeed more than 40 speakers sign up for the public comment for the July 8th meeting, those selected by the lottery will have 2 minutes on the agenda, expending public comment from 30 to 80 minutes. All right. In response to a request for comment from Breitbart News regarding community concerns about the limitations, ACPS Strategic Communications Officer of Freedom of Information Act FOIA, Officer Phil Garamita, noted that, quote, the reassuring news for anyone who has the concerns you express is that these concerns were addressed up front before any actions were announced. The use of a lottery only will become operable when we have more than 40 speakers sign up to address the board in public, a development that has not occurred even once in the past 10 years. So, okay, that is what it is. I mean, here's the idea. How about you not teach fake history? Then you won't have to worry about all these parents standing up and speaking out. Let's see. We talked about Joe Biden sending government officials door to door. Dean Cain slams Marvel woke anti-American Captain America. It's fashionable to bash America. Yeah, how can you have a Captain America that's anti-American? That's crazy. Legalize corruption. 15 Biden administration advisors worked at consulting firm West Exec. I talked about the revolving door in government time and time again. This is nothing new. I will. You have to credit Trump. Trump got rid of the lobbyists, and then Biden come in and bring the lobbyists back. Let's see. White House. Biden would certainly support states reimposing coronavirus restrictions. Here it comes. Here it comes. I told you it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I say it in the fall. Is they're gonna bring back the restrictions? Because it's all about power. It's about power and control. And this coronavirus give them the ultimate power to control everything. Everything from the economy on down. White House. Biden would certainly support states reimposing coronavirus restrictions. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Tuesday that President Joe Biden would certainly support states reimposing coronavirus restrictions. A CBS News reporter asked Psaki if, quote, the White House would reimpose coronavirus restrictions as cases tick up, or is it up to the states? Quote, we certainly support their decisions to implement measures that will make their communities safe, Psaki explained. States and local communities will have to make evaluations about what is in their interest. Quote, there are much higher rates of vaccinations in some parts of the country versus others, she continued. Quote, we at almost 70% vaccination rate for adults 27 and older, but almost for 18 and older. Meanwhile, the spread of highly transmissible Delta variant of the Chinese coronavirus is reportedly forcing Biden administration to rethink COVID-19 Chinese coronavirus measures, which would include reinstituting mask mandates even among vaccinated people. But if you vaccinated, I thought that's supposed to protect you against everything. So why do you need to wear a mask? The Center for the Disease Control and Prevention has dubbed the Delta variant a concern. The variant totaled roughly 20% of infections in the United States and has prompted the World Health Organization to urge fully vaccinated individuals to wear mask covering. Dr. Anthony Fauci on July 4th warned that individuals will begin to see almost two types of Americans, between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated, as the Delta variant spreads across the nation. As the Biden administration is rethinking coronavirus, a July poll indicates 57% of Americans believe they have less personal freedom today than before the coronavirus. It should be 100%. It should be 100%. I don't understand. I don't know why people would even think they have more freedoms today than they did prior to COVID. You got to be an idiot to believe that. I guess this country's full of idiots. But all right, let's see. PJ Media, cuckoo clock, horses in New York City. And new COVID-19 variants need to be taken very seriously. Why isn't Biden? Oh, if new COVID-19 variants need to be taken very seriously, why isn't Biden closing the border? That's a great question. Is the government spying on journalists? A majority of Americans weigh in with their answer. Of course they are. NSA has information on everyone. It's nothing you do on the internet that's not being data farmed. It's going somewhere. That data, that every time you punch something in that computer, it is going to somewhere. More than likely, NSA farm or something like that. Your data is being collected and transcribed, and people that has control of that transcription can type in a keyword and pull up anything you ever posted or typed or anything like that. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And I think the big farm is out there in Utah, I believe. Ex-employee pulls back the curtain, claims a toxic misogynist culture prevail at Hamas-linked care. Alright. Let's see. WorldNet Daily. Biden word salads are intolerable and dangerous. This is. Let's see what this is about. This is interesting. All right, let's see. Biden word salad are intolerable and dangerous. And this is from the Joseph Farah WorldNet Daily. He puts out some decent work sometimes. He said, I had what are commonly called strokes a few years ago, otherwise called medically a series of cerebral vascular accidents. He said, I'm not ashamed, but it probably rules me out for presidency. We take the presidency very seriously. It should be the very best person available for the job. Those accidents I had affected my speech, thinking, memory, and adversely. Until I am cured, I admit it should rule me out for the job. It's important. There are many better people for the job. Joe Biden is cognitively suitable for the presidency. Is not, sorry. I don't know where I got that from. Joe Biden is not cognitively suitable for the presidency either. Not by a long shot. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. And the media ignores it. Last weekend, he had several moments in which, despite the use of teleprompters, notes, and coaching, it was obviously to anyone, I guess he meant it was obvious to anyone that he was confused. This has become a familiar pattern. Like I said all the time, I say it almost on a daily basis, he don't know where he is most of the time. On Saturday, for instance, he took notes out of his jacket when asked the most recent hack by the Russians during moments of ostensibly unscripted time while visiting a farmer's market in Central Lake Michigan. Yeah, why would you need to pull out notes for that? A woman asked Biden, with the most recent hack by the Russians, would you say that, would that say that this means that, and Biden interrupted the woman before she could complete her question, quote, we're not sure it's the Russians, the president interjected. I got a brief while I was on the plane. So why is the media saying it's the Russians if Biden out his mouth said he's not sure it's the Russians? But the media is pushing the Russian narrative. But he goes on to say, that's why I was late getting off the plane. I got a brief. I'll be in better shape to talk to you about it. Hang on a second. After a brief uncomfortable pause, he said, I'll tell you what they sent me. The idea that, first of all, we're not sure who it is for certain, number one, and what I did, I directed the full resources of the government to assist in our response if we determine, and the fact is that the director of the intelligence community gave me a deep dive on what's happening, and I'll know better tomorrow. And if it is either with the knowledge of and or consequence of Russia, then I told Putin we will respond. No, he won't. No, he won't. Why did he need a note card for that, though? Really? Let's see. After a brief, let's see where. The woman asked, "You did tell Putin already, sir?" No, I haven't called because we're not certain. Biden replied. The initial thinking was it was not the Russian government, but we're not sure yet. He told Putin he would respond, but he didn't because they were not sure. This was particularly egregious. It's crazy. This is U.S. policy under Biden. Yeah, that's not even some of the worst things that Biden said. This is just something recently. We heard him say a bunch of other terrible things. He kept referring to Syria as Libya and all this other stuff. Like he was already a gaffe machine. Now with him having dementia, he's like, I don't know what you would call it. Let's see. The rapper who tossed $100,000 into the sea. How queer creators push LGBT agenda in kids' cartoons. I mean, the thing is, it's a sexual preference. So why are they pushing sexual preferences on children that shouldn't even be learning about sex? That's the question we need to ask that they're not answering. I think I know the answer to that, but I'm gonna leave that alone for today, because that's something else I don't want to get amped up about. Because I will go on all day with that, with their whole agenda and what they're really trying to do and why they're teaching kids this. But that's I'll save that for a whole another show. The cost of Biden big government. Who's next to be primary? Big business is in bed with big government. Duh. Big business has always been in bed with big government, especially now, especially Silicon Valley. Highlight the con part of it. Let's see. We must rescue education from the radical left. It's too late. I mean, I wish I could remember the woman's name. Like 10 years ago, she was talking about the stuff that was going on in education. Gosh, I wish I could remember that lady's name. I'm gonna have to go back and find her. But she used to be, I believe she was an education secretary or whatever it is, in the 60s or 70s or something like that. But she was talking for years about what the left was doing to education system, and no one was listening. I watched plenty of interviews with her. I wish I could remember her name. But she was talking about us, warning us about this stuff 10 years ago. Maybe longer. Let's see. The Free Beacon. Biden admin deletes reference to Palestinian terror incitement from congressional report. Israel sends 700,000 vaccines to South Korea after Palestine back out of deal. Biden relaxes COVID safeguards for migrants. Excuse me. Cracks down on agents. Excuse me. It's been a long day. Jewish student killed by stray gunfire in Chicago. Lincoln Project hires former aide to prominent Democratic perverts. I mean, we all know that the Lincoln Project aren't really conservatives. The Lincoln Projects are rhinos who hate Trump, hate MAGA, hate the direction the country's going. They are really leftists at heart. And that's what the Lincoln Project is really. Bill Crystal and all of them, all of their ilk. It's just they're really leftists, disguising themselves as conservatives. Let's see. I feel free. NFL star pushes back on Cory Bush anti-American post. Poll: majority of likely midterm voters say Biden not in charge of agenda. He's already in office now. This is a little too late. I've been trying to warn y'all. Before this stuff popped off. When you had a chance, y'all let them steal the election and put Biden in. And now look what you got. All right, let's see. Bongino report. Hold on, I skipped over that. Let's check the Epoch Times or Epic Times. Dr. Robert Malone, mRNA vaccine inventor, on the bioethics of experimental vaccines and the ultimate gaslighting. Tensions run high on border as crisis worsens. Senate candidate J.D. Vance says he regrets old social media posts criticizing Trump. Oh, now you do. Now you do. Wow. Let's check this out. All right. Maybe next time. All right. Senate candidate J.D. Vance said he regrets old social media posts criticizing Trump. That's because now he wants Trump voters. That's what it is. That's the only reason why he apologizing. J.D. Vance, who recently announced his bid for the open Ohio Senate seat, becoming the fifth GOP candidate, apologized for past social media posts that criticized their president candidate Trump. Quote, like a lot of people, I criticized Trump back in 2016, said Vance, author of best-selling book Hillbilly Elegy. Vance's 2016 memoir in part explained why many past Democrats living in areas that have been economically neglected by lawmakers voted to elect Trump in 2016. Like a lot of people, I criticized Trump back in 2016, and I asked folks not to judge me based on what I said in 2016, because I've been very open about the fact that I did say those critical things and I regret them. And I regret being wrong about the guy, said Vance during a Fox News interview during July 4th weekend. Quote, I think that he was a good president. I think he made a lot of good decisions for people. And I think he took a lot of flack. So why didn't you speak up on him? Quote, I've taken a lot of flack myself in the last few years for standing up for the president voters, but also standing up for the agenda, he added. And I think that's the most important thing. It's not what you said 5 years ago, but whether you're willing to stand up and take the heat. He's really backtracking. And take the hits for actually defending the interests of the American people, because that's what the business of politics should be about. No, you just want Trump's base, and so you're talking out the side of your mouth. I don't believe that you really mean any of that stuff. I don't believe you mean any of it. After Senator Rob Portman announced his retirement earlier this year, all of the GOP Senate candidates have been scrambling for an endorsement by the former president. Trump so far has not formally endorsed any of them. Alex Traintafulo, chairman of the Republican Party in Hamilton County, Ohio, said it makes sense that the GOP candidates would want Trump endorsement because he is popular in Ohio. Of course, that's the only reason why that guy is backtracking. That's all that is. That is all that is. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Epic time. Tension rung high on border as crisis worsens. Silicon Valley dream and what went wrong. 1619 Project author Nicole Hannah Jones will not teach at University of North Carolina. Yeah, I think she took the job at was it Howard or Hampton? I think it was Howard at Howard University. 9 countries reject global minimum tax deal, sending it down rocky road to completion. Yeah, I mean, a global tax. They want to put a global tax on goods. Let's check out Bongino report. This will be the last one. I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. Y'all know I worked at the prison. Then I had a client when I came home, so I'm a little tired. Been up since 4:30. Let's see. Saki, admin will do door to door. We talked about that. John McAfee's widow released a statement saying she doesn't believe his death was a suicide. That's not new. I saw the video of her saying that. Afghanistan will draw more than 90% complete. Biden to remove GPA requirements for grant recipients to provide access to students of color. I mean, does he not understand how racist that is? Biden to remove GPA requirements for grant recipients to provide access to students of color. So are you saying that students of color can't make the GPA requirements? They're not smart enough? He just keeps saying racist stuff. He can't help it. He cannot help it. He can't hide it. Public preschool and kindergarten enrollment drops 13% nationally. House Dems deny extra money for Border Patrol amid historic border surge. Of course, they want them to come in. Inside the consulting firm staffing the Biden administration. Yeah, okay. I think that's all we're going to cover for tonight. I'm not sure if I'll be able to come on tomorrow. I got a pretty fully booked schedule tomorrow, so we'll probably be back on Thursday. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you like to donate, go to Cash App, JPsych, or you can go through PayPal at DEMOCREPUBLIX, or you can go to DEMOCREPUBLIX.com where we cover the real news, and you or hit that donate button there. And please leave your comments down below and hit that like button. All right, until next time.
J-Roll Electronic Productions, baby.